Hello, welcome to the Happy Foodie. I'm Claire Ptak, owner of the Violet Bakery in Hackney, London. And today we're going to make some butterscotch blondies together. The first step to making the butterscotch blondies is to make the butterscotch. So we put a little bit of water in the bottom of our pot, castor sugar on top, boil it until it's a beautiful caramel color. Don't be tempted to stir, being careful obviously because it's very hot. Then pour the caramel out onto a prepared baking tray lined with parchment paper and let it harden. It's hot, so use a hot pad or your apron, which I do. So if you just roll it around on the tray, like so, it'll do what it needs to do, and we'll smash it into pieces later. So I've got all my ingredients weighed out here for the butterscotch blondies, and this is called mise en place, which means everything in its place. And this is my top tip for baking recipes without mistakes. It's such a great thing to do because basically you know you've got everything you need. You don't have to run out to the shops halfway through. And you don't forget to put ingredients in, which can happen when you're distracted in the kitchen with whatever else is going on in your busy life. So we can start now with brown sugar and 2 eggs. Here's a top tip. I always crack the egg on the counter rather than the side of the bowl. So you get a cleaner break, just like that, and avoid getting all those little shards of eggshell into your mix, which is never nice. And then get a whisk, and whisk this into a nice frothiness. You may find that the brown sugar is a little bit lumpy, but don't worry about that at all. Just creates more texture in the blondie. It's good. Now we can add our vanilla extract. It's 1.5 teaspoons. But you could put a little extra if you wanted, because I'm a big vanilla fan. Mix that in. Now we're going to add the melted unsalted butter. You can pour that right in. Delish. Then we'll whisk it up so that it gets nice and emulsified. Now the melted butter, I melted it 20 minutes ago, so it's not really hot, which is what you want. You want to give it a chance to cool down just slightly, but obviously not so much that it hardens up again. Now we're going to add our dry ingredients. So we've got plain flour, baking powder, 1.25 teaspoons, and then my other favorite ingredient, sea salt. And we're going to mix this up and we're going to pour it into our baking tray. I've used the whisk and now I'm going to switch to a rubber spatula. That way you can scrape all the bits off the side of the bowl and just gently fold the rest of the flour into your wet mixture. And again, you may have a few lumps and bumps, but don't worry about that. Now we'll take our tin, which I've buttered and lined with baking paper. Put the mixture right on in there. I wish you could smell this. It smells so wonderful. Really butterscotchy. And then put the chocolate in like this and spread it around in the tin. That way you can make sure that everybody gets an even amount of chocolate. Look at that. And now for the fun bit where we get to smash up the caramel. Get out all your aggressions. Add these beautiful shards that look like amber glass to our butterscotch blondies. Be careful, it can be sharp actually, but that should be good. And it's great to have big pieces and little pieces because it will melt throughout and make all these little pockets of caramel, and it's delish. Now we're just going to bake the blondies for 30 minutes, and it's just 30 minutes because you want them to be gooey and kind of soft in the middle. Delish. While your blondies are baking, take this opportunity to subscribe to the Happy Foodie channel. So here we have the violet butterscotch blondie. I've sliced it up into squares. It's cooled down, it's ready to be devoured. And I really highly recommend making this recipe at home. It's simple and totally delicious.